Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Smoke Room. We're just gonna continue William's route. That's where we are. Going to the beach after getting that lead from Murdoch. Was that what's happened? Yeah. So we'll just get right in there. Lake Emma's waves darken the sand. Towels and blankets litter the beach, along with a few makeshift parcels. We have a few hours before we can expect Nick and Murdoch. So, what do you want to do then? Not sure. He crouches on his knees, and we stare at how the light reflects off the lake. We don't have a lot of time to sit in silence with one another. Usually, there's always something to do or something to discuss. The idea of us just sitting here, doing nothing, watching the whirls and the water go by seems less real than any of the hallucinations or the horrors. But we spend at least an hour doing that. And I'm happy. But soon enough, William starts to fidget and says we need to move around. We follow around the shoreline, wading past crowds of playing children and lounging couples, until the time grows late and our minds move back to business all over again. Do you really think we'll find anything here today, William? Can't say for sure. Can't say for sure. But if we don't, I'd like to enjoy myself today. Yoo-hoo! I don't know. It's Cliffu. Christ. The weasel waves us over from a flannel blanket, sitting with Murdoch a few yards away. The salesman brushes the dust from his pants and as he raises, striding to meet us. Good afternoon, Sheriff. William's voice lowers his voice. I thought you said Nick was coming. Oh, he's here. He just had to take care of some business. He makes a quick motion with his hand, like he's unzipping something up and down. You brought the professor, though? Gentlemen, I'm a wounded man. Cliff helped me put together this lovely lunch we'll be sharing today together. And I need somebody to carry my things, because my shoulder still hurts like hell. If you put yourself in danger for that man again, I might be forced to tell your father. Murdoch's smile draws out, and I see a trace of teeth. Draw faster next time, and I won't have to. You'll do, y'all don't think he was a hit on him or anything? Both of them said nothing as they turned away to look back at the blanket. Right? We all watched the weasel lift the thermos to his face, gripping it with both hands. His Adam's apple bobs as he chugs the contents. Is something going on? Nick. Good to see you, Samuel. He sounds upset with me, but at least he's looking at me when he talks to me now. Mostly. Nothing important. Just glad to have you lend assistance. Cliff, could you watch the food for us? Not too closely, for all of your sakes. I don't think I could hold myself back on that huckleberry jam, if it's as scrumptious as the last jar. Don't worry, I intend to be back as soon as possible. Let's be quick about this. Lead the way, Murdoch. We walk the shoreline for about 10 minutes until we come to a valley of cliffs where the lakes meet the river. We don't have much room to navigate the rocks. A misstep would mean a tumble into the river. Now I understand what William meant when he said it would be unlikely for somebody with a cart to get out here. We'll all stick close to the rock wall. I'm surprised Nick can fit on the ledge, but he's quick and limber despite his size. He crouches every few feet to look into the water and poke a claw at a few minnows. Quit that, you'll fall in. Stop pretending that I'm you. I float like a duck in the water. That ain't even my point. It's over there. Both of us turn our heads. Ahead, there looks to be an opening, the opening mouth of a cave in the side of the wall. But Murdoch walks past it for a few yards and points at a bank on the opposite side of the river. That's where we heard it all come from. Standing right there? Certainly no sight of a cart or a cave on that side of the river. I'm quite confident that my senses are reliable. There's certainly something violent going on over there. Whether or not it's tied to disappearances or whoever wants Cliff dead, I can't say. But I've left Cliff alone long enough. I'm heading back to our picnic blanket. We'll take it from here. The fox waves us with the back of his hand as he presses through, back in the direction of the lake. No land bridge in sight. I don't see a great way to cross the river. The big coyote pulls on his suspenders and unbuttons his shirt. I've skinny dipped before with other males my age through most of my life. But it feels different knowing it's with two men I've gotten off before. I'm grateful we're far away from any prying eyes between the steep canyon. Nick and I look over at one another awkwardly, and William notices. William drops his pants and holds his clothes above his head, wading waist deep into the water. The two of y'all can do what you want, but I'm not walking around in soggy clothes all day. Nick sighs and starts undressing. I, too, turn away. Not because I'm embarrassed, but I don't want to get a boner near Nick or William outside in broad daylight. When the last of my clothes come off, I step into the water, and the current almost blasts me off my feet. Why didn't you say the current was strong, William? It wasn't when I got in. Look straight. Widen your footing and keep walking. I shake the water out of my fur as fast as I can once we get to land. It's almost like a black hurricane when Nick shakes off his fur, getting me wet again. Will, this fucking sucks. He gives me a look to shut me up. We wait quietly on the bank for about 5 minutes. I look at William, whose gaze is staring forward at a rock face. Then I look at Nick, who's tilting his head off every so often, frowning. I feel dry enough to start putting my clothes back on. So does Nick. Will does too, but much more slowly. His ears splay forward, and his gaze is more intense, like he's alert. There. There what? With Will is on his feet and headed towards a rock face. It looks like he's about to walk straight into the wall. The hell is he doing? And Nick shrugs at me, but gets to his feet as well. As William looks like he's about to disappear, to make a collision, he stops, sidesteps, and disappears. We follow as quick as we can. William's voice drops to a whisper. That's our cart. What kind of place is this, Nick? I don't know. This could be a discontinued shaft. SC. Wait. CSCG, Site A. But I can tell that it has not seen recent use. Don't any of y'all hear that? I stopped to listen. There's the wind, and there's the sound of a sound from nearby river, but that's all. Seems like we may not be dealing with miners at all. I'd recognize that code anywhere. The Cody crouches down, his tanny tail swishing from left to right as he goes deeper into the tunnels. Did he say code? Yeah. He sure did. What does that mean? There were no sounds. I didn't hear anything either. But how did he know to come here if he's not following somebody? I pondered the same thing. His tracking senses are exceptional. Perhaps we can't detect what he can. We should follow him. Right. I can sense a sudden change in the pressure of the room. The hairs on my tail stand on end. There's some sort of metal drawbridge in the room. It's suspended over a chasm that whistles with a draft rising from below. The sound it makes as it sways is grating, like the crunching of iron bone against bone inside their own sockets, as if metal could have arthritis. Oh my god, I'm learning, guys. It sounds like they're moving slow, but if we keep a distance, we can sneak up on them. Who's moving slow, William? Some not-so-nice men. Small fry, but they used the code of a Dawn I knew, without a doubt. Sounds like they're camping out across the bridge. Spies of a Dawn? Out here, in Echo? I know it's just technically because of a city or... I know it just technically became a city 2 years ago, but isn't it too small to attract that kind of outfit? You know that my ex-wife came back, Sam. She could have brought them with her. Me and Nick look at one another. I'm not saying I don't believe you. Don't patronize me, Samuel. This was Murdoch's report, not mine. It's possible we're dealing with ordinary counterfeiters or robbers. But there's no doubt about it. I heard them use a code of a specific family that I never told anyone about. That's not an ordinary thing to hear. Sets off alarms in my head. But we're wasting time discussing things when we could be crossing that bridge. Nikolai walks up to the bridge and grabs one of the wires connecting the bridge to a bolt in the stone. He lets go, blowing his paw. Neither of you should use this bridge. It is unfit to use. Well, hell. Yeah. Normally I'd think that too. Except I just watched two people cross it at once. That bridge is sturdy as can be. What? No. That support cable has rusted through. It will not hold one person. Let alone two. Must be some sort of trick. Somebody doesn't want us to cross this bridge. He said he just saw two people cross it, Nick. But he also said he heard two people talking. We both heard no such thing. The more that I think about this, William, you asked me to be here today because of my knowledge of the caves and mining's infrastructure, yes? I did. Then listen. My paw is covered in rust. I know what rust smells like. Everything you say makes sense. But I know what I saw. We can only catch them off guard if we're quick. Nick and William don't usually argue. They tend to agree on pretty much everything. But it's weird to see them so tense on a matter as simple as crossing a bridge. Either way, this don't feel very productive, and I don't want them to fight anymore. It makes me feel sad too. I'm gonna trust Nick because I like Nick. He's cute. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, wait. I'm gonna make a save so I can potentially choose a different option later if I want to see the different routes. Trust Nick and avoid the bridge. I don't doubt for a second that William saw what he thought he saw. But I know for a fact that I have seen impossible things while living in this shithole. Either that bridge is fine, and Nick imagines he sees rust, or there ain't any people on the other side of that bridge. Fine, just test the damn thing with a rock if you're that skeptical. I don't see any nearby. Well, he pulls a baseball out of his pocket. As if I ever get to use this anyway. He tosses the baseball underhanded at the bridge. There's a big impact from the bounce, and then a crunch. We all stare as half the bridge crumbles away with the barest amount of applied pressure. What the hell is going on? If they didn't go that way, then where did they go? Wherever they were, they are not here now. I have decided how uneven the shaft structure scaffolds are, and it makes me nervous. This tunnel will cave in this time. This tunnel will cave in with time. It will not be smart to stay here. And I will drag you kicking and howling out of here, if it is what I must do to save your life. William closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Save your strength, we're done here. When he doesn't say anything else and turns around, we follow him out of the tunnel. We walk forward without talking much. Nyx looks like today aged him another year, and William hasn't had the time to lick his wounds yet. We strip when we get to the river again. There's no shyness now, just a bit of numbness. When we get to the other side, we sit together in silence, letting the sun and the dry air get rid of the wetness again. Hey, Will. Yeah? I just want you to know that you did nothing wrong today. That isn't true, but thank you. The mines are not the world you know. The world you know is people. Thank you for being my friend. Will lets out another loud sigh, looking down. You're welcome, but I think I was a lousy friend today. Wrong. I would stay to argue, but you are both still naked, and I am very hungry. I will see you both back at the picnic blanket. We both say our short-term farewell to Nick, as we let the rest of the river water dry off. William leans back against the rock wall and points his muzzle to the sky. I made a fool out of myself today, Sam. I'm sorry you're not used to it. That puts a smile on his face. Guess you're rubbing off on me. You sure? You don't tend to ask that. You don't tend to ask for that. His smile is bigger now. Filthy thing to say. I think I like a bit of dirt. And I know you well enough that, by now, to think you do too. I rest my cheek against his. I expect him to push me away with his paw, but he just sighs really loud and pushes his cheek against mine. He wasn't kidding that he's sensitive. Now, he's staring between his legs. This too now, huh? I can tell he's putting a tremendous amount of effort to get soft again. Seriously, Sam. What was wrong with me today? I mean, I'd like to say nothing is wrong with you, but I also want to just be like, yeah, people can hallucinate. Like, you know how it is, Will. Yeah, that's the one I'm choosing. People can hallucinate. That don't seem likely, Sam. Nah, it happens to people. I've heard voices and seen images who weren't really there. I think sometimes our brains just get broken. I've had slow days myself, but I haven't fabricated things in my mind. I heard that it can happen to memories. Like remembering your favorite toy train is green, but then you go dig it up and you find that it had always been blue. But that's stuff from the past, not the present. Don't you say that the guys you were chasing were saying something specific? Like, they were saying stuff similar to guys you might have done something to in the past. That's putting things lightly. But yeah, they did remind me of people I fought years ago. Who's to say it wasn't your brain doing something funny? I hope not, Sam. I want the one thing I like about my brain to stay reliable. I think the dumbest thing I did today was throw that ball. Could have missed the hell out of it, but it made me so angry to look at sometimes. I wanted to throw it. Wanted to hurt it. As if a damn baseball can feel pain. So I had no control today. What a goddamn wash of a day. I'm not one to crash a pity party, but what mattered today is knowing there's some things to Murdoch's story. There was a cart in that cave, and you did follow someone in. You couldn't have found that mine exit otherwise. I was thinking about that myself. I don't have an explanation other than there really being somebody there, which makes me so frustrated all over again. You'll figure it out. You always do. It's why I don't bother her lying to you. I'll take that as a compliment. Hate to say it, but I can tell. Huh? Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm laughing at him now. Just a moment. Alright, there we go. I'll throttle you proper for these. Well, at this rate, let's just get dressed. We've been naked in broad daylight for too long. Heaven forbid people start saying true things about us. Heaven forbids too much. That's why it's your thing, not my thing. Well, it could be everyone's thing. Don't ruin the mood, please. The sun is much higher by the time we get back to the picnic blanket. But the sky's still blue. Welcome back. The two of you took a while. Sam and I needed some downtime after what we found. Nick had been filling us in. It really did connect to the mine? The location did, at the very least. I couldn't manage to get a lead on any potential crimes or involved suspects. But I'll be scouting the area with Todd in the immediate future. I think I need to just try to enjoy the rest of my day. You know, I've never really seen you relax in public. Murdoch's right. Though, it's hard to think about a circumstance where William ever relaxes. He's stiff even when I'm taking care of his balls. Call it a force of habit. What do you say we invite Will and Sam to the stag tonight to loosen up? Was that the all-male drive you were speaking about earlier? Nick made a humming noise. That may not be the best decision. Now that Nick brings it up, I think my presence wouldn't sit well with a bunch of, wobblies? Wobble... Yeah, sure. Nick makes a humming noise again. I've changed my mind. You can be our friend first and a sheriff second for a single night. Don't make trouble and you won't find trouble. I should not have to tell you to not wear your badge. Obviously. You can say you're arresting me if somebody gets suspicious. You're all acting as if I've already agreed to go. Of course, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a nice cup of tea at home instead. After all, not everyone is meant to be in the life of the party. I've been to plenty of parties in my life. It's just this particular one, which could be considered unseemly to me, on multiple levels. Why's that? Scared to try something new, William? I haven't heard you call him by his first name before. Because he hasn't. There's a first time for everything. William laughs. And there's also a never. I don't put too much stock in nevers. It's just exciting to see you in a different light is all. You know, in any other context than when my father is forcing me to run errands for him. I apologize for that. But I'd rather work with you than deal with him. No offense. None taken. That reminds me, I brought the pinhole camera. Since this is one of the few times we can gather in broad daylight, I want us to take a photograph together. Oh, learning the production process of photosensitive paper yesterday, and was nothing short of fascinating. The fuck is he even saying? Thank God I'll never have to learn about any of that. Just you wait, Samuel. Just you wait. I can take the picture. Because taking the picture means you'll never have to be in the picture. How does this thing work? I pick up the weird wooden box, which feels heavy than it should be. Than it should. Make sure the angle you... make sure you angle it carefully so your face isn't in the shot. I don't know what that means, but alright. Rest the camera against the rock wall and open the shaft from the for about 30 seconds. And then... Oh, right. He can't answer me for 30 seconds. Ha! Now then. Close the slot and hand me the pinhole camera. Easy. Here you go. The fox pulls out a black canvas cloth and what looks like a heavy metal box full of liquid. I hand him the box, then he goes inside of it. It looks real stupid. You okay in there? I was too excited to wait to see how this one turned out at home. I can see that. The picture's done. Already? I bet it came out beautiful. He hands the piece of paper to me. Just my luck. It's too dark to make out anything. To be continued. Oh, how do you get it to show the photo? Which decision is that? Because I know that I got the photo on my last one. That's curious. I didn't know that you could miss the photo. I wonder. Oh. Baku. Nope. Loro. We'll do this. I'm curious. Oh, that's more editing and censoring I'm going to have to do. That is annoying. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm curious, because I know that I got the photo last time. You just follow a lead when you find it. And you stick with it. It's what I do. It's what you do. Wish I had that kind of commitment. That's fine, Sam. But there's a difference between being good at your job and being stubborn. I can't help but shake the feeling that I was the latter today. I think the dumbest thing I did today was throw that ball. I'm gonna miss the hell out of it, but it just made me so angry to look at sometimes. Made me want to throw it. Okay. I had no control today. It was so goddamn... Okay. Well, this looks all the same. You always do. Being cheeky is what it is. Skippoo. Force of habit. Huh. Oh, okay. So it doesn't do it there either. Curious. I wonder what decision I made that was different. Well, okay. Let me know. Because I know that there's the photo. And it has like Samuel in it because he didn't do the picture right. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you around.